Hey guys, you're hanging out here, Bonnaroo 2019. I'm Julia Cunningham, down deep in Manchester, Tennessee, and I have AJR, Adam, Jack, Ryan. You guys sat out of order, so I couldn't bop you.
Oh, we don't usually do this. We usually sit in order.
Do you guys normally sit in order just to help?
It usually just happens naturally. But I guess it's because you didn't wear headphones. I think
exactly. You know what? It's like we're all off our skewed performance tonight. It's like, guys, I'm wishing you luck for tonight. It's probably going to go terrible. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I want to know because there was a lot of fanfare of your listener base with you guys coming to Bonnaroo. There are Reddit pages dedicated to it, and have you guys not seen it? Maybe maybe I'm letting you in on this, but
I feel like you're kind of the leader of the Reddit army.
I started it. Yeah. I was like #AJR Bonnaroo 2019. Yeah. But I mean, does it astound you still when it's like, you know, your album has been out now for not quite 2 months, but and it's like you know, roughly that or so, and the fan base is still so feverish, you know what I mean, as if it's like getting released tomorrow, you know?
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I think we've always had that excitement with us.
Yeah, I feel very lucky. I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like we tapped into some fan base that gets really excited when we put out a song, an album, like kind of no matter what we do. It's really inspiring for us. It makes us work a lot harder on the music for sure.
Yeah, well, and tell me, like, you know, this, I'm assuming this is your first Bonnaroo, correct?
Yeah, first time.
Yes, first time, in front of a massive audience, I'm assuming, because that's the way Bonnaroo works. It's a festival. Do you feel like a different type of energy? Because, you know, famously with you guys, you know, your recording style, very much yourselves. You guys produce yourselves. You do it in your living room. You do it like with your stuff. You know, does it feel like that energy translates to something like this? Like you save all that energy that you put in emotionally, aggressively by yourselves, pumping up, and then you let it loose in something like
I honestly feel like you put your finger right on it. I feel like that's exactly what it is. I feel like we spend so much of our year being so antisocial and just kind of like cooped up in the apartment alone, and these festivals, when people are really into it, are the one chance to like really kind of break out and be social,
and like crazy,
Right, yeah.
Well, and it's like interesting for you guys that have been a band for actually like a long time, but obviously having a breakthrough each time you put out a record, sort of like gaining an audience base.
Sure, yeah.
It's interesting though to see, like, I was just talking about one of our coworkers. It's like, you know, when you look at sort of your influences, and you can include just like pop culture as part of that, it's like Ryan, you were like 10 when College Dropout came out from Kanye West, you know what I mean? And it's like interesting for someone like me who grows up and sees, or like the Riot Girls or whatever, sort of like influences that have hit you now, sort of being in a post wake of like the way music has really changed in a way.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so it's like interesting to sort of like listen to your music where it's like you're in the time of like obviously genre bending, whatever else, but like how do you guys like try and describe your music? Like do you try and pinpoint something, or do you just sort of, because you're in this era of like what is pop music? What is alternative? What is what is genre bending anymore? Or is that the genre?
I think the best things in the world are a little bit familiar and a twist on it, you know, like Get Out, the movie.
Sure.
It's a little bit familiar. Okay, it's a horror movie, but it's this really cool twist on a horror movie.
Yeah.
So I think we think about that a lot, that we're coming from this alternative genre. Let's kind of turn it on its head a little bit of what people are familiar with in alternative, and just throw in theatrical influences, throw in all these like postmodern influences like Kanye and Broadway, stuff like that.
Yeah, Disney, I know, I was reading, it's like you could sort of like incorporate as like something as sort of like an influence from like growing up watching Disney, all that sort of stuff. But it's like, was there something as a moment for you guys as a band that made you say like, no, I want to write specifically about this one story and make it a song? Like when was it for you guys as a band realizing like not just moments in your life, but like this moment is going to be a full encapsulated song? Do you know what I mean? Like, because your writing style is not like anything else in a way.
Right. I think that we kind of just grew up watching those kinds of movies and being in that setting around friends. The kinds of movies that are blatantly honest and are like, oh my God, I literally just had that conversation with my friend the other day. I can't believe that's on the screen. Or just being as honest as possible with your friends, telling each other your issues and just not really caring.
Yeah.
And we said, you know, that's when we feel the most tingle and the most emotion and the closest. And I said, and then I think eventually we said, let's just put that in a song, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's just make a song about our blatant insecurities, even though it's going to make us look a little stupid and people might make fun of us, but people in the end are really going to relate to it. I think that's just kind of what we grew up feeling, you know?
Yeah, and we always kind of try to twist it into being proud. Like if we're talking about our insecurities, like our song Weak.
Yeah.
It's an anthem of people shouting together, something that's kind of an embarrassing thing to admit.
Right.
So we always try to be completely honest, and then put a twist on it that makes everybody actually be proud of this weird thing.
And it
Oh,
turns
Adam.
out that, yeah, hi.
Whoa,
Hi.
the dark horse.
It turns out that the music we're making is relatable to so many different kinds of people. Like
Right.
at our shows, you'll see parents bring their kids. You'll see mostly like college-age people. But then sometimes at meet and greets, you'll see like grandparents show up that really feel like they're relating to the music. So we make music for anybody who can relate to the stories that we're telling.
Right, and there's something about it where it's like if you hear it one day, right, you're hearing like, oh, this is a bop, but then the next time you hear it, you'll be like, oh, wow, that's really emotional. You know, like the shades of it.
That's actually really funny. We've seen, ever since we put out this most recent album, Neotheater, that's been kind of the reaction. We've gotten a lot of tweets that have been like, okay, what the hell is this second song? Oh, okay, I'm kind of starting to feel like it. Oh, I actually really like this. This is my new favorite song. And we're like, that's really cool because you listen to it and you got new meaning out of it every time.
Well, and every time you're listening to music, right, it's an emotional connection. So it's like you're driving, it's raining, you might really hone in on something.
Totally.
You're driving to Bonnaroo, you're like, yes, I can't wait to scream during week.
Right,
or whatever.
exactly, yeah.
Have you guys noticed that there's a song now that's popping from Neotheater now that you're like, actually it's out and you're performing it live, that you're like, oh, wow, I didn't really think that people were going to go crazy during that particular song?
We have a song called Karma on the album, and it was the first song that we wrote for the album. And by the end, we didn't really think anything of it. It had been such a long time, and we were like, this will just be such a deep track.
Kind of stale for us.
It was kind of stale. It's just about kind of experiences. The song takes place in a therapy session, and it's kind of asking the therapist, like, I've been so good this year. I've done everything right. Why is everything still going wrong? Where's the karma? And that's basically the song. We didn't think it would do anything, but that's like the song usually of the concert. Everyone blurts the lyrics out. They start jumping to it, and we're just playing it every time, and we're like, really? That's really cool.
That's the one? Yeah. It's so fascinating.
Cool how that can happen. Yeah.
I saw that Fun said that about We Are Young. They were like, it was kind of stale when we put it out, and then all the fan excitement made us realize how much we actually love the song.
How big that song is.
Which is kind of
so
beautiful.
surprising. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's super crazy. Well, gentlemen, we're very excited that we're going to be airing the set. So, guys,
Thank you,
if you're in your car, roll down the window, put your arm out, sway, feel the summer air coming in, vibe along with us. And, of course, know that we have coverage happening of Bonnaroo across the platform, including our mainstay over on the Spectrum. We have a bunch of sets airing over there as well. So hang here for AJR. They're coming up not that long from now, and we'll have more coverage coming for you. Go to SiriusXM.com/Bonnaroo for more info. Gentlemen, lovely to meet you guys.
Great to meet you.